I'm sure you've seen this anime on literally every single type of social media. TikTok, Twitter. I mean, obviously YouTube. I mean, you're here, right? Instagram. It doesn't matter. You cannot escape that smile. And that's probably how you heard about My Dress Up Darling. And you came to watch it or at least hear about it. But I've gotta say, and proudly so, this is one of the few times this didn't happen to me. Instead, I was on a very sketchy website where I'm not gonna say that I watch anime, but at the same time, you know, I watch anime. And the homepage just kind of presented it to me. I was just trying to go on my merry way to watch some more Attack on Titan, as you do every Sunday. And bam, there it was, just like the gates of heaven opening itself. So what am I gonna do? Not watch it? You gotta be kidding me. So yes, that is how I discovered this anime. And I've gotta tell you, it's absolutely fantastic. And we're gonna hop into why I think so. And if you've watched it yourself, definitely let me know what you think down below as well. Let's do it. I'm gonna do a tiny summary just to make sure we're on the same page here because that's what anime YouTubers do. The main character's a shy guy, as usual. The only thing he cares about in life is making Hina dolls. He talks to them before he goes to sleep. He drools looking at them. The point is he absolutely loves his passion. Although he keeps it to himself because at some point in his childhood, a girl around his same age said that it was weird that he likes making dolls. And to a certain extent, that was pretty traumatic for him because that's part of the reason he has a hard time making friends. His favorite thing in the world, nobody wants to hear about. Or at least to him, he thinks people are gonna think are weird. Which I gotta be honest, the anime didn't do him a whole lot of justice. They did make him look weird. Fawning over a doll, having a bunch of heads in a cardboard box, looking at dolls as if Love is Worse came to an end and he finally got his confession. And it makes it sound like I'm trying to call him weird. But that's kind of the point of this anime, and I'll get to that. I'll come back around. But either way, at the point that we see him in the story, he's grown up and he's in high school. And he doesn't have a whole lot of friends at this time. Actually, no. He doesn't have any friends at this time. And that even makes his grandpa kinda concerned. But that's when the unthinkable happens. He's sitting in class minding his own business, as he usually does, trying to avoid eye contact, not talk, not make any noises, all types of things, you know, just kind of trying to be a chameleon on a tree. When the second main character comes into play, quite literally flying onto the screen and into his life. And I dare say, into our hearts. She literally tripped and is flying. Physics went out the window. But either way, that's how the two meet. She ended up trying to talk to him while he's obviously reluctant to talk, and he has like this smudge thing on his arm because, you know, he paints dolls, and I guess he didn't take a proper shower. And that's the end of that counter, but that's basically how they met. Boom bada bing, the main character goes into this internal dialogue about who she is and telling us about how she's one of the more popular girls in the school, and she's very pretty, very outgoing, and gets along with everyone. And as most animes happen to have it, that wouldn't be the end of their encounter, as I did say she's the second main character. He breaks the sewing machine, so what does he have to do? Just use the sewing machine at the school, duh. We definitely didn't have those at my school. But then again, where I'm from, you basically had 2 radio stations. But this isn't about me. And guess who's there again? Marin Kitagawa. And of course, being the type of person that she is, she's gonna ask him, why are you here? And then he has to go, well, I'm trying to make some Hina dolls. And while bracing for impact of the shame that he was about to have, something else happened. Instead, she was impressed. She was happy about this. She was happy for him. She thought it was the coolest thing in the world. And then proceeded to tell him about how she wanted to be a cosplayer and was trying to make her own clothes. And then immediately, right there, stripped down, the main character, God watching and all, and had on her cosplaying outfit. Obviously, I'm not trying to do an in-depth summary of it. So, the main character was a little disappointed, decided he would help her after she asked, and found out she was a very dirty girl. Into ecchi harem type animes. You can't make this shit up, you really can't. Which was another great twist to the story, I might add. The main character not being the otaku. And the heroine herself actually being part of the demographic that watches this show instead of it being the main character. Of course, the main character finding this out was very concerned and was kind of questioning life. But nonetheless, reluctantly goes on to help her, seeing how happy she is about it and how much it means to her. He realized that she had the same love for cosplaying that he had for his Hina dolls. And he would not let somebody as outgoing and open about it be shut down. He wouldn't have the same pain that was inflicted upon him at such a young age happen to her now. Although, let's be honest, she probably wouldn't have cared and would have told him to just shove it up as you know what. But either way, they continue on. Gojo having slight experience in making clothes and measurements and all that, although at a smaller scale. Decided to help her out, go to stores, get all types of clothes and material to help help her. A couple more girls come along the way, all of them with their own things that they genuinely enjoy and issues that they might have themselves. And that's basically the synopsis I'm going to give you, because we're going to get into all the great things about this. First and foremost, the show is giving us a direct message. And no, I am not talking about Twitter DM. A message of why should it matter if somebody else thinks what you like is weird, which is shown in a direct mirror reflection, because, you know, mirrors go opposite, in case you aren't getting where I'm coming from with that. One with Gojo, who has an extreme passion in his Hina dolls, but hides it, wants to keep it to himself, doesn't want to talk about it with anyone. It is his thing, and he's gonna do it regardless. But at the end of the day, he is a little sad about the whole, you know, friends thing, because they might think it's weird. While on the other hand, you have someone like Kitagawa, out in the open about the things that she loves, and determined to make her dreams happen, even if she isn't very good at what she does. At the end of the day, who gives a single crap? If people do care, then you can be like Kitagawa and basically say, fuck off. As she did at the beginning when another dude basically made fun of her for liking anime. And also, just because one person doesn't like it, doesn't mean everyone will feel that way. It shouldn't matter, but that also shouldn't stop you from getting friends, because there will be some people that are okay with it. They like it too, or they like that you like it. They don't actually like it. Like in the case of Kitagawa also. Yes, she's not making Hina dolls. Yes, she isn't very good at making clothes, but at the same time, she thinks what Gojo likes is cool, and the fact that he does it is also cool. And this message further continued when another character entered the scene. Shinju Inui, the sister of a very famous cosplayer. She was the photographer of her sister, who is also a cosplayer. And she had her own issues as far as trying something new. She was really into the cosplaying that her sister did. She wanted to do it also, but instead she was just the camera girl, with the worry of what would her sister think if she did so? Or better yet, what would the masses think as well? And this message really hits home with plenty of otakus, I'm sure. Although not everyone. I'm sure there's some people who have a lot of anime shirts that they don't wear certain places because maybe they're gonna get judged. And yeah, this story does have a message that's, I'm sure some people who watch it could really, you know, take. Or at the end of the day, it is entertainment. You could just watch it and not take any messages. That's fine too. Moving on. Something else that I truly love about this anime is fan service with a purpose. I mean, don't get it wrong. I'm not an anti-fan service guy. I love my anime titties as much as the next. Anime thighs, all of it. Yes, I'm cool with it. Absolutely. But even sometimes I'm watching a show and I'm like, what was the point of her doing that right now? Like I said, I'm not against it. It just usually doesn't have a purpose outside of literally fan service itself, but this show does it extremely well. And mind you, with fantastic animation. I mean, Jesus. The only problem with the animation is that the hentai artists are gonna be fighting for their lives to make some decent hentai, because the studios got them beat in a lot of categories right now. I mean, just look at it. Holy shit. I'm getting off topic a little bit. I understand that. But yes, instead of like I was talking about where you're force-fed fan service, no, it makes sense in this case. Like when Gojo had to take Marin's measurements, it actually made sense at the time for her to be stripped down into her bikini. This is the type of built-in fan service that we could all know and love. Like, yes, you get the anime titties, and yes, the main character gets the measurements he needs for the cosplay. Now, of course, do they put a little bit of extra spice on it? They absolutely do. Like in that one scene where Marin hits him with the straight up, just do it. And I'm absolutely cool with it. You set up the scenario for it, and you add some spice to it. That's the type of fan service I'm talking about. Or, you know, the sweaty scene. It feels like sometimes animes have those sweaty scenes just to do it. But in this case, it was because she was out at a cosplay event all day. And the dress was very thick, and it makes you hot. It's just part of it. These are actually real life scenarios that make sense and could definitely happen. And that brings me to my next point, realism. Finichi Furuka took it to a next level in so many different ways. First and foremost, the studying for this story beforehand must have been extravagant. It must have been a lot. Because believe it or not, I believe most mangakas weren't exactly ex-cosplayers who know about different measurements or Hina doll makers. Actually, I'm pretty sure it was confirmed that she did shadow a doll maker, and that's how the shop was so realistic. The cosplaying as well. The sketch sheets of all the measurements and sizes that they need to make it happen. Although I'm not sure about this, I'm fairly certain she did do some studying up on that as well. Knowing that you need not just the exact type of color from an anime, but you need the type of material that'll match what it would look like in real life, giving it a certain type of vibrance, a feeling, almost an emotion through the fabric, which is honestly cool as shit. Like, I kind of learned a lot. But not just knowing exactly what they needed in the anime, bringing realism to the debates on what they should have as the clothes. I talked about the feel, the material, how it should look in real life to give it a certain type of vibe. It wasn't just something that came built into the anime. It was something that was discussed between the characters, something that the characters themselves had to learn, which is also fantastic and adds to the realism. And on my closing remarks as far as realism goes, the personalities of the characters. Instead of the main character just being inherently shy, he had a backstory that made him kind of close off from people and keep from telling the things that he likes to others. And even at certain parts in the show, opening up about things that he likes and then realizing, you know what, I might have took it a little too far and even I sounded weird. And then Kitagawa having this flamboyant personality about something that she loves. Being able to go into detail about the animes, not only just being a cosplayer, being someone who's into the background, genuinely loves it. Having her own faults, not being great at literally everything, and actually having forms of self-reflection. Like whenever she realized that maybe I'm not the best cook and maybe I shouldn't be doing this. But I'll be damned, she did it anyways, which is also cool. And then the intertwining of those two personalities coming together in a way that's legitimately plausible. Gojo wanting to study to get the cosplay outfit right for her, having to come over to her house and grab it. But wait, since you're here, why don't we just watch the anime together? And then the dude freaks out from being there. Like, wow, this did not going according to plan. Although it made every logical sense when you think about it. But the relationship that they're growing together is also fantastic in its own way too. On one hand, you have her beginning to admire him for his tenacity and his work ethic, and according to her, beginning to fall in love. While on the other hand, him not freaking out as much and becoming more sociable, realizing that not everything has to have some type of crazy narrative to go with it, and understanding that other people have the things that they're so into that they will stop at nothing to accomplish those things, and him beginning to admire her for that as well. So yeah, basically he's beginning to believe it's a normal relationship as a friend and trying to help out while she's like, wow, this guy's kind of hot. Anyways, wow, I think you guys get the point. I truly did go off on a few tangents there, but those are just some of all the reasons that I really love this anime. And I was prepared to make this video before the show even completely ended. Although I do have my theories about the future of the show, like that one little girl that made fun of him coming back and, you know, kind of fucking up the whole vibe. But we'll see about that when it gets there. Anyways, you guys let me know what you think down below. Those are some points about the anime that I really just felt like talking to you guys about, expressing my thoughts on. And I'm sure there's going to be a few people who watch this video who haven't even watched the anime yet and go, wow, there's more to it than what I saw on Twitter and Instagram. And to be frank, it was more than what I saw on that sketchy anime website. It was way more depth than I initially imagined. Anyways, this is Triz. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to drop a like if you enjoyed, and of course, I would not mind to subscribe, because that's what YouTubers are supposed to ask for. So anyways, here's 2 videos up on the screen. If you click one, you might just enjoy. Can't wait to see you in another video.